been one long week, everyone, but we're nearly there. 48 hours from now, we will know our fate. Whether it's an automatic promotion spot and an instant return to League One, or having to get ourselves up for what has become an unwanted playoff campaign. Oh, the nerves are high. Welcome to the preview show. I'm Julian Roberts, always a pleasure to be hosting, and I'm joined by Matt Caspel. We always said for months now that the games would get bigger and bigger. Where are we at with the description for this one, Matt?
It's big. Yeah,
it's gone all the way round. Just big.
Just big, really big. No, it's a pretty big game, isn't it? It's enormous. What a great position we put ourselves in. We're trying to stay positive with it, obviously, because like yourself, kind of shitting it as well, if you know what I mean. Does it feel good going into that game as like the actual favourites?
Yeah.
Like you look at the odds on the bookies, and we're like insane price, like 2 to 5 or something to get promoted. And I'm like, I don't like how confident. I don't know how confident it is. And also, I just feel like the vibe around like the message board and in the group chats, everyone's sort of, no one wants to say it, but everyone, I think, is just assuming we're going to win the game, which is good because obviously it means everyone's confident. But I just feel like, I don't know, in my group chats, in my world, it feels like not enough people are entertaining the idea that we might not just get it done.
It feels a little bit,
like,
in a weird way, you know, when the Salford-Bromley game, I hadn't entertained that Salford would win that game.
Yeah, it was so shit.
And it's, yeah, exactly.
It was awful. I'd even messaged you boys before. And I was like, oh, should we meet up? Should we meet up to watch the game in London? Salford-Bromley. That would have been an absolute train wreck, wouldn't it? You'd just be sat there like, oh, God,
disaster.
What have I done?
But I think a lot of that maybe comes from the nature of Saturday and the fact that people look at Crewe and go, they've got nothing to play for. And obviously we've seen enough of ourselves. I'm not saying it's false confidence, but I think it's confidence masking nerves deep down, because I've had a weird week. For the first couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, I was almost like psychopathically calm about it. Like I wasn't even, I was just like, I wasn't even thinking about it. It was almost like it was so big. I was avoiding it so much in my head that I'd managed to just completely take it out of my orbit. I woke up this morning on Thursday and it's all come raining down on me. And I mean, we'll come on to predictions later. I think where I'm at is proper heart and head stuff. If I really think about the game, we are a better football team than Crewe, aren't we? Surely. Even a full strength Crewe side. My heart, though, football just does not work as simple as that. And I can't, that's where my nerves come from, that how often, and maybe it's more often than you think, and it's just the other ones that you remember, but how often do final days where there's multiple teams in it go as easy as just the team that should win?
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Harris in the presser referenced York-Rochdale, right? Or Rochdale-York as a good example of what can happen on a final day. Then majestically pivoted into the Champions League. Thought it was great. No one's done that. No one's done that in any other press conferences, I don't think.
Dovetailing,
just gone for the extremes. I know what you mean. What's my week been like? Yeah, I think probably similar. Like today really feels like, today being Thursday, we're revealing all the pod secrets. Not actually.
Well, in fact, look, Casper, I think there's a chance this pod comes out on a Thursday. It's a big pod.
A genuine Thursday pod.
Thursday pod. I might even push it out on a Thursday night.
Oh my God. Huge.
That's where we're at.
How big the game is. Yeah. Just get it out. It was a weird thing though, isn't it? Like actually doing the pod, this feels quite nice, quite like cathartic. Because this is like, I don't know, it's like a therapy session. It's going to turn into a therapy session, basically. Take it in turns to convince each other that it's going to be fine. Even the playoffs will be fine, right?
You can't see.
Wouldn't be good on Saturday, but like, that narrative is going to come so hard if we do end up in the playoffs. Everyone will be like, look, we'd have taken this at the start of the season. Someone will say it on the train on the way home or something.
And it won't land well on that train.
It won't land well on that train home,
It's not really landing particularly well right now for me. I think it would take me a while for that to come round to that.
Yeah.
And it's probably the aspect of, like you said at the start, part of the reason we're probably a bit nervous about it is not just the fact that it's in our hands, but the fact that we are expected to do it. Like you say, the bookies odds, and every other fan I see is like, oh, you know, that isn't probably that exciting because Cambridge will just go and win there. It's almost that aspect of like it's got Harrogate away all over it, hasn't it? As a game, for so many reasons, not as a result. I just mean going into it, it's all in our hands. We are the ones with the onus who need to go and do it. A much changed Crewe side like that night as well. It does feel like going into that game a bit, doesn't it?
A little bit. I mean, obviously Harrogate was useful because we had a safety net behind it.
True.
Maybe we just got to channel that energy of that Grimsby game where we did get promoted, which was actually really
Yeah.
enjoyable, very serene. I know it was a home game against
Well,
an already relegated and frankly hopeless, totally gone beachy Grimsby. Um,
you're
but that's
absolutely right that Grimsby game is a far better comparison, though. Last game of the
it was the
season.
last game of the
Yeah,
season, and we needed to win. There was pressure on that game
big
because
time.
we were
Yeah.
stuttering a bit, and people will remember. Obviously, we got as close to the finish line as we needed to get without actually stepping over it. Well, we need a point basically, didn't we? At this point, so it's like if we drew against Stevenage, we'd have made it.
Yeah.
And then we needed a point against Harrogate, obviously that crazy game where we were back to 4-4, obviously everyone I'm sure remembers, and still contrived to lose the game. Crazy when you think about it. So yeah, I mean, we got our business done there and we did it very efficiently and very well. So it's got to kind of hope that we do the same thing. I've said it all season. We've said it a lot on the pod. Just feel like whenever, and Tom Walker sort of disagrees with this. This is interesting, but I just feel like whenever the chips have really been down, like when we've absolutely had to do a result, we have. Obviously, they've not been more down than they are now. This literally it. We just got to go and win that football match and not rely on anything going on around us. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it happens. Just thinking about my prediction already. I haven't actually really opened my mind up to predicting what is actually going to happen. We'll have to do that at the end. But
We'll do that at the end. Yeah. Maybe as much as chips being down, team responding. Maybe like as a tweak to phrase that might be something like all season we've found answers to different questions. If you think about the consistency at the start, the away form, we've spoken about all this lots on the pod. And the question now is like, can you hack it under the biggest bit of pressure all season? Plenty of people might look at that Grimsby game and those goals chucked away in the Easter weekend and point at signs that maybe we can't. But this is, like you say, this is the ultimate test though. So this is like, this is the one chance they've got to prove that they've got the mentality to do it.
We're doing this on another group chat earlier. We're like, what do you think if we do end up in the playoffs? Which result or which like set of results are you going to look at? Like which moment are you going to look at the most? And it's actually quite a long list of like, obviously we've been so good.
Away for me.
You think it's Cheltenham away? My response was taking 1 point only off Harrogate. It's probably not good for you.
That as well.
Your credentials. There's quite a lot of different ways you can frame this one anyway. But no, we just got to stay positive, right?
Yeah.
Where's Swindle? We need to manifest. Yeah.
Get rid of all of that chat. Come on, it's all in our hands. We just got to go win. We're up. That's all we've got to do.
It feels a bit like the pressure's getting to us, though. Maybe you at the press conference felt like a high pressure situation.
That's a nice way to segue into that. A nice thing that I needed this week was a nice dose of shame.
It's so good.
Oh man, I just got. I mean, basically,
should we explain? You've got to explain.
Should we do the whole story? So we're recording on Thursday afternoon. And we often do this record because we sort of sneak around our work schedules to be able to do it on a Thursday afternoon. And this time, because we don't always know if the press is going to be out in time, but this time for such a big game, we thought let's make sure and get one of us in that presser just so if there's any big news, we're not doing a whole preview show without talking about it or anything like that. So I messaged Dan at the club and I'm like, any chance we can join the presser? For a bit of context, the last time we joined a presser, one of the UTAS lot, I think Swindle asked, I think it was Harris actually in his first time round, or maybe it was Monk, what the lineup would be on Saturday. I'm pretty sure, which obviously whoever it was like, well, I'm not going to tell you that because everyone knows. It was something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. So we don't have form in these presses. And Dan, lovely media guy at the club, goes, yeah, of course you can, mate. Yeah, here's the link. 1:15 Don Ball, 1:30 Neil Harris. And I'm like, okay, dreams. I'm going to get my lunch ready and I'm going to sit there. I don't want to ask a question. The journalists do a fantastic job of asking the questions. I just want to sit there and listen and make sure we're not missing anything. I pressed join at 1:14, 1:13. Bang on time, touch early, and I met with Don Ball going, Julian Roberts.
Honestly, anyone like me, I don't really tend to watch the player interviews really because I find them they're pretty vanilla. They're pretty media trained, like beige. This one is worth a visit. We could drop the audio into this pod, surely. The audio alone. I mean,
I can drop the audio in.
His facial expression is kind of priceless, though.
I think. 1 second, sorry. Admit.
They better be good.
It's Julian Roberts. Hi, Julian. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's good, thank you. You're talking about a project, because
because I didn't realize that I don't know what I thought, that he's just running the laptop. So he's admitting me into the press conference.
Mid-conference.
And that's the thing. So I thought it was at the start of the thing because it's 1:15. And I went, hello, mate, how are you? And he's like, yeah, good. Anyway, so yeah, the thing about Saturday is you just got to hold your nerve. And I realized he's like mid-answer. Oh my God. I was like, camera off, mute. I was like, I want to walk to the sea and keep walking at this point. It's so embarrassing.
I love that you told us. We might not have picked it up if you hadn't told us, but you had to share. Well, actually, you sent it to me one-on-one, and I said, you have to put that in every group chat.
Yeah.
Away. If you don't, I will, basically.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah, it was. It really wasn't an amazing moment, but it got better from that point, luckily. Anyway, there was some interesting stuff from Don Ball. An interesting thing that he did say, speaking of his actual press conference.
Yeah.
There was an answer that he gave about the amount of players in the squad who've got experience of been in these positions before on final day. They've got promotion experience. They've been in these high pressure situations. I think he named himself at Ipswich, Morrow, Corey Smith, Pelly, and Kai. And that was kind of off the top of his head. Probably we might be able to find a couple of others knocking around the squad. I was thinking Lavery, maybe. I'm not sure if he was at Blackpool when they went up. I'm not sure.
So McLaughlin went up. I know he's not around, but
maybe
we've
not
got
sure.
Quite a few. It might be like around the squad anyway on the day. You'd imagine they'd all travel, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And do you think that's something that should give us extra confidence going into Saturday?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we're sort of led to believe that Crewe might have a bit of a heavy rotation their side anyway. No idea how many promotion winners that'll leave them with on the pitch. Probably not many if they do that. It should help, right? You just want all the experience and knowledge around everything. You just want calm heads. I am struggling when we get to the prediction bit to see the game not being quite tight. I'm really struggling with I love the idea we just go 2-0 up, 3-0 up, and it's like you're cruising and you're just having a party. I just really can't see that. So I've got a feeling it might be a bit more nervy, to be honest. So we're going to need we just need everything to go our way. Like, I'm not a big believer in luck necessarily, but if we're going to have a stroke of luck at any point, like now would be a really good time to do it. If that Peterborough ref, allows for it, mate.
My God, that's something that we've got to chat about. I mean, this has been such a hilarious thing. Clearly, people have had nothing else on their mind all week because people emailing the
EFL. I think it's great.
Should we give a bit of context for people who don't know?
I'm going to write to my MP, mate.
Yeah. For people who don't know, the referee that's been assigned for Saturday is, what's his name? Rob Hare?
Neil Hare. No,
Neil Hare. Sorry.
Yeah. With the fantastic hair as well.
With the fantastic hair. Who is, I'm pretty sure, born in Peterborough, lives in Peterborough, taught at PE at school from what we can gather. Lots of people doing some digging that he's never reffed a Peterborough game, which you're not allowed to. I think there's a rule that you're not allowed to ref any side that you've got any sort of family links with or personal connections with. So, but he has reffed Northampton, Ipswich, Luton, Stevenage, us before. It might be. Is it a lot of 2 + 2 = 7 for you?
It's just bad juju, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, even though I don't really buy it, and I do think the refs are all probably just actually pretty impartial. Like, I don't think it would be pretty Machiavellian to be like going into a game like, oh yeah, I'm going to mess this up for them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, surely that's not what refs are actually doing. I also think, the Gillingham game is the other game. Gillingham and Barnet away. We didn't do anything like. That Barnet away is an example. Like, it doesn't really matter. Anyone could have ref that game. Could literally been like an actual Peterborough fan. They still wouldn't have had much of a decision to make in that game. Gillingham away was fine. Like, I don't remember anything. They were taught that obviously at the time after the game, people talk about Apre maybe getting a penalty.
Yeah, I think that was the one moment. Yeah,
I don't think it was a penalty. Obviously, Gillingham did get a penalty, but it was a complete a stonewaller, very easy. So, hopefully it just isn't a thing. I just really, for his sake and for our sake as much as anything, it's just really hope it doesn't get any oxygen. But obviously, it's known in the fan base. I love the idea of someone emailing the EFL, just really indignant and expecting a meaningful reply. Apparently it's PGMOL who handles the referee conflicts anyway, as in all the refs have to declare who they might support or have leanings with, if that makes sense. The EFL stays out of it, I think, to be impartial, if that makes sense. So you need to email the PGMOL instead, apparently. I don't know. Hopefully it's just not going to... I just hope it isn't... It's also just a shame for football if and when it comes down to a refereeing decision.
Yeah.
You just don't want it to be that way. I would just like for us to cleanly, confidently win the football match, right, and not allow for that to be
Yeah.
an item.
I think on this pod we've always said like we never really want refs to be part of the discussion because that's not why we go to football. And more often than not, if you're a better football team, you end up where you deserve to be, and you get some decisions over the course of the season, and some go against you. I guess the only thing about this one is maybe even forget the Peterborough link for a second, and just if I think we'd be having this conversation if it was the infamous Trevor Kettle back in the day or someone of that sort of ilk. And it's just because it's so much focus on 90 minutes, all these little things come out. But you're absolutely right that the last thing you want in a game like this is that it comes down to any sort of refereeing decision, kind of any sort, really. In your mind, you just want it to be clean than that.
I do just think he's the only ref in this division whose name I actually know, though. That's never good.
Well, just because of the hair, though.
Well, the hair, Neil Hare with the hair. Yeah, maybe it's that. God. Yeah, God help us if he gives a shit pen against us in like the 90th minute or something. I mean, I will be at that point. All the calmness you're getting here will be gone. I think.
Yeah, I think I can see that. Yeah,
won't be happy. Would not be happy. God.
Right, next bit of the presser was Harris himself. Luckily, I didn't manage to embarrass myself.
Mate, you got a few good shout-outs from the gaffer. I think he saw what happened to you with on board, and it was like, I'm going to build this man. We're going to man management. We're going to build this guy back up. Just been absolutely bodied.
Yeah. No, much better for me. Much better this one. Stayed very quiet though. The key thing here, obviously, and I think what we really wanted from this presser, and the reason I put myself all through the shame and embarrassment, is about the injuries. Did this surprise you, first of all, the fact that he basically he kind of gets asked it twice. He gets asked it the first time round about Kai, Knight and Watts and sort of how they pulled up after Saturday. And he kind of says along the lines of, not ideal that three of our sort of starting players go down injured during the game. Grouping them together in a way that I don't know about you, but the assumption that I'd made was Kai was obviously a genuine thing, goes off in the first half, looks like a very genuine injury. Watts and Knight maybe more, not even precautionary, just rest some weary legs. We've won the match, get them ready for Saturday. The way he grouped them, I never know with him if it's just a bit of mind games. Knight has been in those training photos, so he is OTG. Casper, you'll be pleased to know.
That's good.
I don't know. Do you how worried would you be if all three were out? If he was just being genuine?
Would not be good, would it?
Yeah, Knight, Watts, and Kai.
That would not be good. You're hitting that phase of the afternoon where you're really starting to enjoy your beers and you're getting the squirmies and you're thinking, right, going to the ground, 1:45, and then you see the team sheet come out. You got like Kachunga starting on the left wing or something. Like, oh fuck, what's gone on here? Yeah. No, I don't think we go. I mean, the way he handled the press conference was great because he was very like nice, polished answer, nice and respectful. Second time when someone asked him about Lavery, he was just like, no. It's almost like, do you know what I mean? He was like,
it's the firmest answer I've actually seen in the whole season. He literally went, I'm not talking about injuries.
Yeah, he was proper. Yeah, he was pretty stern on it, which also great viewing. So we've noticed it as a trend in the past few weeks anyway, haven't we? That he's just not up for revealing anything about anyone in the previous games or how anyone's getting on in terms of getting back to fitness. All through the season, he's got more and more cagey with it, basically. Were you not tempted to ask for a third time? You should have gone for it. Neil, what about Shane Lavery?
Neil, do you think Shane McLaughlin might be fit on Saturday?
Yeah. Just watch him combust. Oh man,
that would have been great.
A career ender for you, obviously. But
obviously,
great content. So, I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out. It's almost impossible to speculate. It would be a bit of a blow if all three of those are out. Particularly, I think Knight is the one you would be looking at because like Watts obviously has been terrific all season. He's my player of the season vote, but we do have reinforcements. Obviously Michael Morrison's there, and or like you could change the shape and just have two centre backs as well. So there's a number of options to replace Kel Watts. Kai's been in and out of the squad all season anyway. I mean, again, he's been really impactful. Got a feeling even if he is injured, he could just be on the bench. They would just find a way to get him on the bench. Yeah. Also expecting Lavery to be on the bench anyway.
I'd be pretty shocked if Lavery wasn't on the bench, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they've kind of teased that anyway. Yeah. Some people say Monday might be on the bench. Scored so many goals for Hereford. Obviously, their season is over, and you're like, he scored
just in case
double-digit goals, recently.
What a story! So, imagine that.
That would be That
What
would
a
be a hell of
story.
a story, mate.
95th minute, Jules Monday
Debut,
comes on.
debut goal. He's a
Wow.
big lad, so you'd be thinking set piece,
Yeah.
stoppage time. Just
Yeah,
he's,
yeah.
he's got height, he's physical. So I'm not saying I'm not supportive of it. I think it's pretty hard on. I mean, at this point, you would assume we'd have like Lavery and Nevitt.
And
There'd be a lot
Kachunga,
of
I
striker,
would guess.
possibly Kachunga, all
Yeah.
on the pitch already. So I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, to be honest, because that says to me we're in a bad state. What's also fun is that we could be. I hadn't even thought about this. We could. You might get East, even if we're drawing the game, you could have Eastwood going up to attack a late corner, couldn't you? If the other
Yeah.
results, they're gonna have to be really on it with the other results.
Well,
Um,
it's interesting because that got brought up
yeah, yeah,
in terms of
yeah.
how much are you gonna pay attention to other results, and I think he said he always gets a sense from the crowd, which is obviously fair enough. I think you'd get a sense from the away end if like Crawley go 1-0 up. I'm sure you get a bit of a sense of a buzz or something. But he kind of mentioned first half don't focus on it at all, but then second half probably a few words, and someone's got to be on it because
Someone's job, like Barry Court, you know what I mean?
definitely,
Anyone's job, like
yeah,
you literally
yeah,
need to be very much paying attention to this.
yeah,
If you know what I mean. Not
yeah.
even like laggy streams either. You need Bet365 or something. You genuinely need like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I want Barry Core just watching the graphics on Bet365 if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Or anyone else on that bench, frankly, who's capable of doing it. No, they've got to be on it with the other scorelines because you've got to know your context and you've got to know what the hell's going on else around. It's equally as important as what we're doing. Obviously, again, the hope we're 2-0 up, 3-0 up, 2 goals up, whatever,
Doesn't
and you
matter.
can be much more relaxed. You still want to know what's going on, I think, but you can be more relaxed. But again, I suspect, I just really don't see that for us, unfortunately. I think
Well,
it's all
look,
going to be tight.
don't give away your prediction just yet.
I know. I don't even know what it is yet.
Let's talk about them a little bit. Let's get a bit of an insight from the Crewe perspective. Swindle's had a chat with the Railwaymen podcast.
Right then, news fans, for the final time this season, hopefully, I'm joined by Stuart from the Railwaymen podcast. Stuart, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah, so we're at the business end now of this season, final game of League Two regulation. Anyway, on Saturday, Hughes travelling up to Crewe. Crewe at the end of this season, currently sitting in 10th, 10 points out of the playoffs. Surely this season is a story of what could have been for Crewe.
Yeah, I mean, I would dispute the phrase you used at the start, the business end of the season. That's not the case for us anymore. That's long gone. Yeah, it's been a weird season. We won the first 4 games of the league, which looking back now is years ago. And we weren't quite sure what we were going to expect this year going into it. And I think I was probably more down going into this season than I have been for a little while. And then we won 4 in a row, and it wasn't Newport, Crawley, Harrogate. We won away at Salford on the opening day. So, there was a lot of confidence. And then it just sort of fell off. And then we've descended into this pattern that I think we just haven't gotten out of all season. We win, and then we lose, and then we win, and then we lose. And I think that's been quite common for a lot of League Two teams this year, listening to people. There's been no runaway leaders. You could possibly argue Bromley. And the fact that, there's no one really technically relegated going into the last game of the season. It's been quite a close year. Ultimately, we just haven't been consistent enough with what we're trying to do. I think the style of play on the day that it works is really good. And then on the other day, it's just a bit hoofball, which Crewe fans have very little patience for. We're quite a forgiving fan base. I would say we're one of the best or worst, depending on your point of view, in not calling for the manager's head, in not getting on players' backs, all of those things. But the Crewe way, whatever that means, installed by Dario Guardi in the 90s, still sort of carries a bit of weight. And I think that's, for me, some of the stuff that was worse last year. It's gotten better, but it's still not where I quite want it to be. So, yeah, I've forgotten what your initial question is. It started off on a rant. The season's long gone for us. We're probably about where we should be. I was expecting or hoping to be a little bit higher after the start, but it's not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. A tough interview to give on the last part of the season, especially when, us in Cambridge United have quite a lot to play for. But thanks for doing it. Just before we go on to the game then, What's the feeling amongst Crewe fans kind of looking towards the summer and next season? Do you kind of think that a bit of consolidation needs to happen? Do you think that Lee Bell's the right guy to be in charge? Do you think there's going to be a lot of turnover? How do you think the summer's going to go, and what are the aspirations for next season, really?
There's two very, very different answers that I can give to that. One is, yeah, this will be a season of turnover. It always is at League Two, it always is with our club. We don't tend to give players longer than 2-year contracts. And we're such a weird club with player contracts that players seem to turn up for 2 years and then disappear. And then the next academy player will be taking their place, or the next person brought in on a 2-year contract. So it's always a big season. It's always a big summer of recruitment. There's this weird rumor going around, and I don't know when people will be listening to this, but we're recording Wednesday afternoon. There might be a takeover happening at Crewe, and it sounds like it's got some legs. Like, the people who are in the know are keeping quiet. The internet is ablaze with rumor contracts and talks and all of this. I don't know anything. I've tried my best to find out. The people who are normally good at telling me stuff are not telling me stuff, and that possibly tells me something. It would be fantastic and a shame at the same time. Without going all League of Gentlemen, Crewe is a local club run by local people. We have a chairman who is from the area. We have directors who are from the area. You know, I don't know if anyone listening to this has been to the away or been in the away end at the Gresty Road. It's called the ice cream van stand because ice cream vans are made by a family in the Crewe area, and they've put their money back in. All of the stands are named after local sponsorships by local companies. The stadium isn't called Gresty Road anymore. It's called the Mornflake Stadium because Mornflake Oats is 100 metres down the road, and they have been for about, I think it's 250 years. I really like that. I really like a lot of stuff about the fact I support Crewe. One is the academy. One is about the local links to the club. So if the takeover happens, that would be really sad. But then also there has to be a realization that football doesn't work the way I want it to anymore. And we are going to have to catch up, join in, or possibly face oblivion. And that would be way worse than an owner coming in who has a lot of money and possibly some bad ideas. I don't know. I don't even know who it is. So they might have good ideas. So yeah, in terms of the summer, it's two. We could be next year's Gillingham or Milton Keynes or whoever, or it could just be much of the same. I don't know. I'd love to know the answer to your question because it means I know the answer to my questions, but I don't at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. Nice to have a little scoop on the pod, even if it's not Cambridge-based. So interesting.
It might just be complete nonsense, by the way. I might just be fed a pack of lies and I'm just repeating them. I don't know at this stage. I'm unable to tell you.
Well, no, always good to have a potential one on anyway. But yeah, moving on towards the game, not to make it all about us, but let's make it all about us. Interested to hear that manager might have given your players a day off in this week and hinted towards potentially mixing up a bit and trying a few players who hadn't played. Any kind of insight or preference from you on how Crewe might set up in this game on Saturday? Obviously, for Cambridge United, a win means we're promoted. Is there a kind of mentality about kind of upsetting the apple cart in that respect? And how do you expect the game? How do you expect Crewe, firstly, to kind of line up in this game and approach it?
I would be very, very surprised if it wasn't a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, depending on if we've got the ball or not. I mean, there will be players coming in who haven't started that many games simply because we're decimated with injuries, as we always are. So there will be some players playing. I think it's probably likely you'll see a couple of the next academy players off the rank. They both came on last week against Chesterfield, a fullback called Stan Dancy and a midfielder called Luca Moore. I think Lee Bell has mentioned competition integrity in the fact that when it was done, when we weren't going to be in the playoffs, all Crewe fans want to see the next academy player. And he said, no, I've got to keep it right for everyone else. It wouldn't be fair if I put the kids out against Cambridge. That's not fair on the competition. But at the same time, he has to look at what he's looking at next season and what better time to give these players some minutes than in the last game of the season when not much is riding on us. So yeah, there will be some players that have got quite high squad numbers because they're youth players that haven't really played much football. But I think you'll see as strong a Crewe team as possible start the game. it definitely won't be the strongest Crewe team possible to end the game for sure.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting to see how it goes. Always weird being that team, not with with nothing to play for on that day, especially when you've got a team coming who need a win. So yeah, looking back over the season then, and then looking towards Saturday, a couple of players, if you could, to point out to us who might be good to look out for. I see that both March and Tesgill kind of made it into the top scorers for the league this year. Have they been kind of important for everything good about Crewe this year?
Yeah, I'll talk about one and I'll sort of lump him in with another. So, Emre Tezgel and Tommy O'Reilly, both loan signings, both will be playing their last game for Crewe this Saturday. Neither of them will be in League Two next year. Tommy O'Reilly's on loan from Villa. I think he's the top scorer and assister in the league if you put them both combined, which for a team in mid-table, some doing. Emre Tezgel, we've got on loan from Stoke. He's a really, really good player. I think we weren't quite sure how good he was when we first joined because he's a young lad, first proper loan out. He got injured in December against Bristol Rovers, and you could probably argue that our season took a hit at that point, which he never really recovered from. I don't think he's been as good since he's come back from injury, but he had quite a bad injury, and it would be unfair to put a lot of criticism on a young player like that. So those two are two really good players that you will see play their last game for Crewe on Saturday. Josh March definitely deserves a bit of credit. He came in from Harrogate in the summer, and I don't know if you're familiar with Gab Sutton. He said he doesn't really rate him as a League Two striker. He said he's more of a National League striker, and he scored like 5 in the first 4 games, or scored 5 or got assists in the first 5 games. Something stupid like that. He doesn't stop running. He's a constant pest for anyone. I'd like his finishing to be a bit better if I'm being judgmental, but a really good player. There's a few, look, I've mentioned the word academy about 6 or 7 times already. Those are the ones I always look out for. Lewis Billington, who will probably be playing right back, possibly centre back. He is someone that won't stand out to you as a super player, but for me, I think he's probably up there as player of the season, just missed a consistency. He's barely missed a minute if he's missed any minutes. He's come on leaps and bounds. But the other fullback, Reece Hutchinson, we signed him in the summer from Sligo. Their season is going in the summer. The Irish League plays in the summer. So he was halfway through a league season. He's come in and the club were worried that he was going to burn out and they were going to have to sort of give him a bit of time. He's just played basically every game and he scored some absolutely phenomenal goals and just been really good. So there's a few players to look out for. There are some good players in this squad, which goes back to the first answer I gave you where I'm quite disappointed with how the season's petered out. I think we could have been better. I think we should be higher up than we are. But yeah, those were the players that I would say keep your eye on.
Absolutely right. Well, we'll look towards the game itself now and get a prediction from you. Before we do, how do you see Saturday going? Do you think there's going to be a kind of attitude from Crewe to come out and give the fans a good farewell to a difficult season and try and get one over Cambridge?
I hope so, but I don't see it. Our last 6 games have been horrendous. Including yourselves. We've had Chesterfield, Salford, Milton Keynes, and somebody else who I've forgotten, Grimsby, and we've beat Salford and lost every other game. So like the idea that we had this run in at the end of the season, which we knew about, and we had to be strong and we had to fight if we wanted the playoffs, we needed to pick up results against all these good teams. It hasn't come to light. I think we're limping to the finish line. If you turn up at Gresty Road, really determined to make sure that you get that win to seal promotion, I think you'll probably see a fight from Crewe for a bit and then it'll be a bit much and then you'll probably win. And I don't really like doing predictions where I don't predict Crewe to win, but I just don't really see it this weekend. I think there's way more on it for you guys. So long as the pressure doesn't get to you, obviously, because that's something that can affect players, especially lower league players. But if you turn up in the right frame of mind, I do think that you'll probably get the win.
Cool. Well, I think that's prediction enough. I won't put you down to do a prediction. But listen, Stuart, thank you for joining us again, and good luck for next season. And hopefully, in a weird way, I don't speak to you next season. But if we do, all the best anyway.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Swindle and the Railwaymen boys there. Crewe are currently 10th in the division on 66 points, 10 points outside the playoffs. Obviously, can't make that. They've got nothing to play for. Their recent form isn't great. They've lost 4 of the last 5. The one win in there is a win against Salford at home, which is just an interesting little quirk. We haven't won away since February 21st, though. So, I mean, are we drew a win away from home? Are they drew a win? Are you reading anything into that sort of mindset?
I don't really know. I don't know. I mean, they're an interesting team, aren't they, Crewe? We've had a few of these this season, it feels like. Teams that look like they were thinking about trying to get in the playoffs and then dramatically fallen off. Like Oldham are bottom of the form table now. I'm just like, how's that happened? Like they were top of the form table. It feels like a month ago Oldham were like beating everyone, if you know what I mean. And now suddenly they've just turned completely. So I don't know really. And then they've lost 4 of the last 5, obviously, which feels encouraging. But if they're going to rotate everyone, you've got a bunch of players who are like might be trying to earn a contract, might be trying to prove something, you know.
Yeah,
that makes me nervous. That genuinely makes me pretty uncomfortable.
So their manager said after last week's game where they lost at Chesterfield, he said that he was going to give them some extra days off in the week. I think they had their like end of season presentation thing.
Like the idea of that.
Going to give them some extra days off, and they were going to look at some new things in the last game and some young players. They already did that against Chesterfield. There was a few really young lads, at least, coming off the bench and stuff. That's kind of where we're talking about Harrogate away earlier, and that kind of situational context going into a game. The other thing is, like, of all the teams to play who are going to play some of their youth academy products, you'd make a strong argument that in this division, Crewe are the worst ones in the way that they have the best academy in the division. They always produce academy players every single year. It's the model of the football
they've
club.
got like a historic.
Yeah,
they've got a very well storied like production line, right, of good like youth talent. Also, they obviously pick up. They've got a good catchment area. I think they pick up a lot of players.
They've got the Bromley around
clubs.
Manchester type of thing, haven't they?
Yeah.
But even so, like they're like you say, they always roll out. Their squad is, I'm pretty sure, the youngest in the division in terms of age this year and most years. And that is the whole model of the football club is kind of bringing through blooding in these young players much earlier than a lot of other football clubs. So it's that dynamic of you just said of players playing for a contract, young players trying to prove themselves, plus also maybe them being young players who are of a slightly higher caliber than you'd expect from a youth academy product at League Two level. It's just the sort of thing that going into a game like this just makes me squirm a little bit.
I don't know though. That should that just work for us though? I really don't know because we're physical and we're set piece threat and
true.
You know, I'm just pulling these out my arse. Honestly.
No, you're right.
But like we are like, surely if you're Harris, you're looking at, you're a bit like, well, you know, it's like let's make this like men against boys. We've got some really experienced players. You know, not just physically, but it's definitely that set piece thing, you know. Like we obviously went to Bromley a few weeks ago and we're like, Jesus, they're all giants. They're so effective at set pieces. But that is also what other teams will probably say about us. We're obviously not as big in stature, but they will look at that set piece record and think we've got to be really on it for these set pieces, you know. That our win against Barrow, most of that was set piece based, right? So maybe we should be taking confidence from it because if it's, you know, our attacking unit and, you know, set piece attacking unit against 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, then kind of rate it, kind of back it. So I've somehow managed to pull that around into a positive, I think.
No, you're right. Look, I'm just asking the questions here. I'm just asking the questions. Maybe one aspect of it, whether they're young players or whoever the individuals are, one aspect that Harris actually touched on in his presser was we'll have to focus on ourselves even more so than any other game, because he can't really predict the type of team that Crewe will put out. That's not word for word what he said, but that gives you the gist of him saying that because of the things that they're going to look at, watching their past games is a really hard indicator for the type of team they're going to play. So it does make them a bit harder to predict and to play for. And I mean, this is one of those things. It could go one way where they're trying something new, and if it doesn't work, we should be ruthless enough to be able to capitalise on that, or the other side, which is that we've not prepared for a system that kind of catches us off guard on the day. And I guess that just depends on your outlook, right? And how you want to, kind of how nervous you are for the game, I guess.
Going to tick all the boxes, aren't we? It's a bit of everything.
It is.
Just on the fence completely. I think we're just going to have to see what happens, aren't we? Eye test and see the team sheets come out. Might be some interesting stuff from ours, obviously with injuries. Could be some interesting stuff from theirs. As interesting as League Two. opposition team sheets are able to be. I mean, for me, I'll just look at it and be like, I've got no idea.
11
Is that their
players.
first team? I've
That's
got no
11
idea.
names.
I'll look at the shirt number. Shirt numbers might do something.
Yeah.
But apart from that, no idea. It's got to see what happens, don't we?
Have you? So, if you look around, Crawley play Salford, Notts play Bristol Rovers, inform Bristol Rovers. Obviously, we go to Crewe. If I were to give you a fixture to choose from of the three, Crawley away, Crewe away, or Bristol Rovers at home, which would you have?
It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard, this. Bristol Rovers are obviously on a hell of it. What have they won? 7 games in a row or something? They're on an absolute...
Yeah, 8 out of the last 9, I think.
They're on an absolute tear. Yeah, they're on an absolute tear up. So I think you'd want to swerve it, but it would mean we're at home. And we're also very good at home. God, Crawley. Crawley have got something to play for.
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of the crux of this question, maybe. Let's just put it down to those two, Salford and our game. Would you rather play a Crawley side away from home, who have only lost once at home since we beat them at theirs, have drawn with Barnet, Swindon and Chesterfield. They've got something to play for big time because Newport play Barrow down there. So there's a lot at stake for them. Or would you rather go to Crewe, who, rewind the pod and everything we just said about them being on the beach, but trying some new things out and being a bit unpredictable?
You just got to take Crewe, haven't you, I think? If you had to, just because Crawley have got something on it. Probably Crewe, I guess. Just the rotation, this idea that... Oh, I don't know.
Good.
Maybe ask me at like 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah, well, maybe earlier than that, 3:10 when we're 2-0 down because we haven't predicted the way. Yeah,
two dodgy pens or something.
Exactly.
We're down to 9 men in the first 10 minutes.
Okay, here's a question for you. You like this one? What are the odds on Lofty saving us?
Yeah, pretty high, I think. Pretty high. I saw on X, in amongst the famously great content on there the other day, there was one of those random football pages had put a tweet up about end of season for League Two, and it was all about relegation, but Lofty was the image. Lofty was the focal point of that image, and I was like,
amazing.
What's gone on here? They've gone to ChatGPT and gone, who should I feature on this content about the League Two relegation battle? And there he was. So
the hero of the hour.
I mean, obviously it would be very typical, wouldn't it? Well, not typical, it would be absolutely nuts if we're going into stoppage time, we're drawing or something. And then Lofty scores the goal that sends us up by scoring for Crawley against Salford would just be...
That would just be an insane turn of events. Can you imagine?
Unreal. And then we go out the other end and concede a penalty. A really dodgy penalty.
Very soft, yeah.
Very soft pen in the 98th minute, and that's it. Playoffs.
Okay, well, look, we shall see. Should we do some lineups and predictions? And let's start with our lineups, and then we'll move on to the big predictions.
Lineups. Why has this caught me on the hoof?
Well,
what do you think, Jules?
I can start. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty simple question, to be honest. I think he's bluffing the Knight and Watts thing. I think they're fine.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And I think it will be. I don't think he's bluffing the Kai thing.
It's just Brophy Kai, right?
Yeah, I think it's straight swap Brophy Kai. I don't think he does anything different. Lavery on the bench, definitely.
Monday on the bench, you having a bit of that?
I don't know, just because of space on the bench. I can't see it being Catch, Lavery, Nevitt, and Monday on the bench because he's going to have Smith and Morrow on the bench for sure, and obviously a keeper. So that's your full bench.
Yeah.
Then you've got, and I think he'd prefer to have Purrington there, just position.
Yeah.
So maybe it's Monday instead of Kachunga, but that's a hell of a call.
Brutal, absolutely brutal. Yeah.
So I don't think so. I think it's maybe like slightly fanciful. I mean, I see the set piece angle. If you need a goal. And it's not really about
how many goals. Well, what's he's done? He's scored like 10 goals or something. 11 goals in 12 games. He's scored like a shitload. I've just made all those numbers up. He's definitely double-digit goals. Like
for a side that did they save themselves in the end, or they're definitely in a really hard relegation battle down there. And I think he's done really well there. So yeah, and the height, maybe it's less about the experience of the players and who they are, and it's more about the situation of the game. So maybe, but I can't see it being as well as Kachunga, because I think the 4 sort of attackers would be a bit of an unbalanced bench that I'm not sure he'd like, because you've got to remember there's a situation where we're 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go, and you know what Harris is going to do in that situation, which is bring on his defenders and try and see it out, which sounds absolutely horrible.
Get a one goal lead, and then just try and sit on it and finish with like 6 defenders on the pitch last half hour.
Yeah.
whilst Salford go like 4-0 up at Crawley, and we're just like clinging on by our fingernails. Crewe like hit the post or something, hit the bar, goes down and bounces off the line. It's like crazy like that.
It's going to be a horrible afternoon.
And Neil Hare runs off and gives a goal. Of course he does. Yeah. It's like our Frank Lampard moment in reverse or something.
Well, is that your prediction then?
No. What do I think is actually going to happen? God, this has got to be the hardest one to predict of the entire season. Like the risk of egg on face. It's going to be worse than you gate crashing a press conference halfway through. What do I think? I think it will be tight. Got a feeling one of the other games will just be straightforward. Like Notts maybe just RB and Bristol Rovers. Like Bristol Rovers have had a great run, but they're just so beachy that Notts just roll them at their, they just go 2-3. They're just well ahead, which obviously applies a bit of pressure. We can obviously still draw, right?
Yeah, we only need a draw to finish ahead of Notts. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine in a sense. I've got a feeling when we come up to like 70, 80 minutes, we will not be winning the football match. That's just what I think is going to happen. I think we will be drawing. I think there's like it could be a 0-0 or a 1-1. Like I think we'll be drawing the game, going late, and I don't really know what happens after that.
Man, I don't know if I can cope with that. Like this is the thing. I've been so calm all week, but this has been part therapy. But I'm now really imagining what that would be like. It's absolutely
like 10 minutes ago. I just feel I've got a weird feeling Crawley Salford will be drawing and we'll be drawing all at the same time, and it's just going to be like. It's just and it could end that way. Like in my head, there's a world we'll both draw, and you're just shitting it. And we've got like 10 minutes of stoppage time or something crazy.
My
God! You just like, and I have no idea what is going on. And obviously, if we went and scored a goal late there,
be amazing.
But I said this, our good friend Darby Nutter, friend of the pod, said that'll be me dying and taking you with me. Is what he said if that happens. So
that sounds like a bet.
Yeah, a little bit.
Look, permutations wise, it's worth saying permutations wise, there are 27 possible outcomes to Saturday's game of the not our game. There's 3 of our game, but the 3 results combined, 27 possible outcomes. In 6 of those, Salford are promoted. In 2 of them, Notts County are promoted. In all the other ones, we're promoted. So, I mean, that tells you where the bookies are getting their odds from, really, in terms of, well, it's just as simple as that, isn't it? But we've got a match or better Salford's result and not lose, basically, match or better Salford's result to finish ahead of them and not lose to finish ahead of Notts County, guaranteed. So it's like, logic is on our side. It's what we said right at the start.
That's what you said. If you asked any other fan and they look at the table, they'd just be like in the fixtures, like, yeah, Cambridge will do that. No probs. I'm just sitting there like, I just don't buy it at all. Yeah, come on, predict.
Look, how for weeks and weeks I've been saying
drama. You want it, that's why.
I don't. I really don't. I have been saying that for weeks. I'm really hoping I'm not right on Saturday about that.
Oh, you know what happens now.
I'm gonna predict something different because I genuinely believe we're gonna go there and be 2-0 up at half time and it will finish 2-0. And the second half will be played at a walking pace and no one will care anymore. Not no one will care, but do you know what I mean? I don't think Crewe will put in a lot of effort. I think we'll be able to just control the game. There'll not be a lot of chances. Second half will just be complete procession. Maybe I'm hoping beyond hope. I do think that we are the better side and it should kind of be as simple as that. But I just want to remind everyone that I've said for weeks that there will be a really dramatic end to a game at some point in this run. But I just really don't want it to be Saturday, and I just want to have been wrong, full stop, and that's it.
I'm just saying drama. Just drama. Maybe does Eastwood score? Do you know what I mean?
Something like that.
Like an Eastwood header.
Salford winning, 1-1 going into stoppage time, and Eastwood wins it with a header. Wow.
Just be insane.
Okay, look, that's enough of that. I think we've got 48 hours to mull over all these scenarios, but let's get a few predictions from some of the other lads as well to see where they're at.
Hello, Use fans. Jordan here, just dialing in late to the pod, like how one of the UTES members dialed in late to the club's presser on Thursday. Hope everyone's feeling good ahead of the weekend. Been asked to do a voice note on the day and the game itself, and I'll be honest, I'm underprepared because I've spent so much of this week trying to not think about this weekend and distracting myself with other things, most notably train times and whether I can get from King's Cross to Euston in a specific time. It's been a great distractor. How am I feeling about Saturday? Naturally very nervous. I'm a pretty pessimistic guy anyway. However, I do trust this team. I do trust Neil Harris. I feel like we've always performed when we've needed to chase down a result. So that's making me feel more optimistic. I had a sneaky feeling last weekend that we'll get across the line in an unspectacular way. So, I don't know, results going our way. So maybe Salford not winning and Notts County not scoring the 100 goals they need to score to overtake us. So I think the weekend is going to end well. And that is as far as I'm going to go in terms of predictions. See you on the review pod. But hopefully that won't be too early on the Sunday recording. Anyway, all the best, Hughes fans. Let's do this.
Swindle here, already nervous about Saturday. Crewe, a team with nothing to play for, going to rotate their squad, bring in some academy players apparently. But yeah, dangerous team to play. Cambridge, we know, don't deal awfully well with nerves. So I think it'll be a nervy old day. I think it'll be a kind of cagey game. If we don't go out early and score, I think it could be quite a nervous one, looking over our shoulder at other games. I think in the end, Cambridge will come out on top. I think we'll win 2-1, but I think it'll be a late one. It'll be the classic Cambridge United drama. But I fancy us for promotion and a very good Saturday in Crewe.
Oh, dear. Oh, the Crewe away, boys. No. Oh, when the fixtures came out back in whenever it was, we all looked at them. We all did the same thing. We all went, God, imagine we get promoted away at Crewe. And how many of us really thought it might actually come down to this? Yeah. Oh, how do you feel? How's your nerves? Interesting one on Saturday. Everyone I've spoken to that is not a Cambridge United fan has looked at this fixture and gone, "Oh, you win that one, yeah." Everyone that I've spoken to that is a Cambridge United fan has basically got their ass twitching like a mad thing. I'm sure everyone listening to this can relate. I mean, the game's a tricky one to call, to be fair, because who knows how Crewe will line up. Hopefully, the Crewe fan that we've hopefully got on the pod might know actually, so you might already know that. But I'm feeling relatively optimistic, I would say. Obviously, there's a big Salford-shaped elephant in the room, which makes me think it might not quite go to plan. I think it means we're probably going to have to win. It's a weird thing when you go into a game like this, and really you should only focus on yourself, but you can't help but look at those around you and think they're going to win, they're going to win. It should be a nice thing, really, just to be able to focus on the game in front of you, but I think it's going to be anything but. It doesn't line up and all that sort of stuff. I'd be surprised if we change too much. I think we'll be able to keep it relatively tight. I mean, Crewe at our place were not great. We made it a bit of a struggle, but nevertheless, we found a way. We've got to imagine if it goes exactly the same as Crewe at home, 96-minute penalty. I don't think my nerves could take it, and I'm sure no one else is good either. I'd love to be able to provide some proper analysis. I'd love to be able to tell you exactly what's going to happen, exactly how the game's going to go, but I'm just quite nervous, to be honest. So yeah, look, we've got to see how it goes. There's 2,500 Cambridge fans going to be there. Several of us are going to be on a ridiculously early train up, so it should make for a cracking atmosphere, if nothing else. And yeah, well, look, if Crewe don't have the good grace to play coconuts, if we do win, I'm sure we'll find a way to get it blasted out somehow. So hopefully it's coconuts by 5 o'clock. Hopefully we're going to be heavily on the drink by about 6 o'clock and celebrating yet another famous Cambridge United promotion. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Now, if it doesn't happen like that, then you'll have a couple more episodes of UTAS to listen to for the rest of the season. So fair's fair, I guess. Just realised I balls that up a bit because I forgot the most important bit, the prediction. Having said that, I'm quite nervous. I do think we're a much better side, and I think we'll just about have enough, to be honest. I don't think it'll be pleasant at any point. I'm not sure we're going to enjoy anything on my own with it, but I do think on the full time when it came to be a League One team, I think we'll shade the game. I think we'll win the game 1-0. We'll constantly look over our shoulder. I think Salford will absolutely batter Crawley, and it'll be a pretty miserable afternoon, but it'll be worth the wait. So there you go. There's my prediction.
Thanks very much, boys. Do send us in your predictions over on Substack under theabbeystand.com. We've got a chat going there for the game. Lots of fellow nervous / confident or pretending to be confident News fans. Coconut tier members, we love you very much. There'll be a lot of coconut tier content, hopefully very soon over May. Hopefully it's all promotion stuff, but it's hard to know until after Saturday. We'll update you depending on the result. For now, it's all focused on Crewe. A few pints at the Old Spring afterwards, maybe, Caspel. Obviously not on Saturday, but to celebrate a nice happy hour at the Old Spring. That's what we need, isn't it?
I think so, mate. Scapasti's flying everywhere
Yeah,
when the news go up.
That's the only way to celebrate. Thanks very much for this. I've gone through a lot of emotions today.
I'm bricking it now. I don't know what's happening.
Me too. I've gone worse.
Yeah,
I've got way worse.
I've got much worse during the course of the pod. I think it's the predictions. They're shitting me up because yours is nice, but has made me quite nervous. And mine is obviously horrific, totally. And has also made me quite nervous. I haven't even listened to the other boys who've submitted. So
I'm a bag of nerves. I'm a bag of shame. I'm a bag of everything after
You're
today.
a bag of everything, mate.
I don't know what to do with myself. Fingers crossed.